Hello, I am Kimberly Howard, Field Training Coordinator for Kentucky Autism Training Center. Today, we are going to take a walk through puberty. First, I want to tell you a little bit about our organization. We support families and schools all across Kentucky. Our goal is to bridge the gap between research and practice. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So here are the goals for today. We will look at some of the aspects of puberty and special considerations needed. We will also discuss resources that are available. Puberty is going to happen, whether you are ready for it or not. Puberty is going to happen whether or not you have a conversation with your student or child about it. So my suggestion is that we prepare our children in advance so that they'll be able to have a better response and have the strategies and skills that they need to respond to the changes that are going to happen in their body. I want you to take a minute and think about your own experiences related to puberty and sex education. Did your parents talk to you? Did you attend class or classes at your school? Our past experiences impact our thoughts and feelings around this topic. We should be aware. We can see based on this slide that there is a wide range of normal ages for the process of puberty. For many children, the process of puberty will begin in elementary school. To me, that's why it's important to have these conversations early whenever possible. It's also important to know that so that as a parent or as the teacher, you're aware and able to begin the process of having a conversation with the team of support personnel for this particular student or child. If you are a middle or high school teacher or a middle or high school parent watching this webinar, don't despair. It's not too late if you haven't already started having these conversations, but maybe you're going to be more specific in the topics that you choose. So what's your responsibility related to this topic? If you're a parent or a school staff member or the teacher, what's your role and responsibility to your student or to your child related to puberty and hopefully eventually sex and sexuality training? In the state of Kentucky, there's no universal policy amongst schools regarding sex education and regarding the teaching of puberty-related materials. It's up to each individual school district. So I recommend that your first step is to find out what your school district's policy is and if they teach any related classes to this. In my experience, many school districts will cover some of the beginning related topics around puberty, such as body changes and menstruation for girls, starting around 4th or 5th grade. But check with your school district and your particular school and see what their policies and expectations are. Sudden changes can be very upsetting for children with autism spectrum disorder. This makes it especially important to have early conversations about puberty. We need to teach them what to expect, such as voices may crack, hair may grow in new places. These things are normal and an expected part of life and growing up. Because if we don't have these conversations, then children may be afraid. I can't imagine going through the process of puberty without, at a minimum, some basic information about what to expect. It is important to start. Decide, what skills does my student or child need right now? What classes does the school district offer currently? Is my child or student attending these? If not, what content as a teacher should I be providing direct instruction in? As a parent, what content instruction will I provide at home? These are some general guidelines to help us get started. What age is your student or child? That affects the age-appropriate materials that you might use. We also need to use appropriate vocabulary. Teach children and students the appropriate names for body parts. Years ago, Oprah Winfrey on TV called her vagina a vajayjay. But if a child comes up to you and says, "My moo-moo hurts," or "My pocket hurts," I might not understand what they mean. But if they come up to me and say, "My vagina hurts," or "My penis hurts," then those are words that everyone can understand. So it becomes important to think about those things. Make sure that you're communicating with your students' team and the parents. We need to have a conversation here because we know that puberty topics, puberty and sex education, there are a lot of beliefs that are surrounding those. It's a very sensitive topic. So we have to be respectful of what the family believes. When we're teaching about puberty and puberty-related topics, then we need to be aware that there are religious beliefs that come into play, and there are social and cultural beliefs that affect families' approaches to this. And we need to be respectful whenever we are able to do that. So it's important to have a conversation. Be clear, concise, and concrete. Be explicit. State clearly what you are talking about and the information that the student or child needs. Chunk the information into manageable blocks. Make sure that maybe it's too much to know about all at once. Maybe they don't need all of the information. They just need information about specific parts of puberty topics. Use proven teaching strategies and materials to teach needed skills. And we'll talk more about those strategies in just a little bit. And at the end of this PowerPoint will be several slides of resources to help you get started related to this topic, because it can be overwhelming. And I think that sometimes people don't talk about this topic because they don't know how to get started and they don't know what material to use. So we'll help you get started with that today.